Hello and welcome to my channel Making Crafts. Today I'm continuing to work on my Oceanic Adventure Journal, and this journal is using the kit from Happiness and Crafting by G. Kerr, and it's the Oceanic Adventure kit. It's the paper pack and the embellishment pack. But today I am going to be decorating this page up with some stamps and stamping some tags and things. So I bought a set of ocean themed stamps off of, and these are just, I pulled a bunch off right now, so there's gonna be some missing in the set. But I bought a set of ocean themed stamps off of Amazon, and all you have to do is just put in, I don't know if this set is still available. I bought this several months ago, but you just put in ocean themed stamps and you'll see there's several little stamps like this sets that come, and you get several actual sheets of stamps in it. And I was kind of worried when I got them because they weren't very expensive though, and I didn't know how they would be, but they actually stamped really well. And so I'm just going to be using some Stampin' Up! Ink today, and I'm also going to be using some clear embossing powder, and I'm not sure who this one's by. I've had it for years. I'll just show it to you. I'm not really sure, honestly. I'm not seeing a name on it. Maybe I'm overlooking it. But I've had this for years, so I'm going to use that one, and then if it runs out, I have a different brand, I think, like this. So I'm going to stamp this page. I've been practicing some, and I've stamped this little image from the kit, from the stamp set, I mean. And then, let me see, there was another one I stamped with the heat embossing, where I stamped some of these, and that's what color I'm going to do. So let's get started on this page. So for this page, I want to stamp along the edge here, because I thought where I put the pockets on the side here, it's kind of plain on this side. So I thought that might add something to it, just to stamp this and heat emboss it. So I'm going to move these little stamps for a second, and I'm just going to put this, it's going to be just this little, what do you call it, like a little bottle. Like, it's almost like you have a message in a bottle, but instead there's a little fish in it. So I thought that would be cute. Let me find a piece of scrap paper to stamp off on real quick, because I don't remember stamping this stamp before. I've used some of the stamps, but not all of them. So let me just try this one real quick. Sometimes you need to stamp a stamp a few times to get the image correct, or to figure out how to hold it right. So let me see here. We'll just put on this piece of this index card. Oh, that's beautiful. I love it. So and I love this color. I'm using Island Indigo for these today. Now I'm really nervous about stamping on my page. I always get nervous when I stamp on something that's already a finished page. Typically, if I'm going to stamp something, I stamp on something I'm just getting started, and the stamping is the first thing I do. But after I made this page is when I realized I wanted to do some stamping on it. So we'll see how it turns out. So I have just a little spot I want to put it in right here. Just pressing down really hard. There we go. That looks good, and it looks like a bottle's just leaning in the water. I like that. And so now I'm just going to heat emboss that. So I'm just going to take a piece of paper here to catch my embossing powder. And let's see. And I have a very old heat gun, or heat tool. So it is quite loud. But I'll try to turn the volume down for you when I use it. Actually, I need to tap off just a little. I'm gonna stop for just a second. Right here, some that I needed to wipe off. There's a little extra on there. Okay. Which is not going to hurt it if it does melt onto it, because this is like a little ocean scene, so it'll just be like bubbles. So I'm just heating it from underneath first, and then I'll heat over top, and I just go back and forth like that. And see, you can start seeing the embossing coming through. I love when it starts doing that, where it starts changing colors. I think it's so pretty. It's so much fun. And then I'll go over the top in just a second. Can you see it changing colors at the top of the bottle? That is so neat. It's so pretty. And I love this clear embossing with this color ink. I think that's so pretty, especially for this journal. And I'm going to be heat embossing some more. So the page is warped, but we'll fix it. We'll just straighten it out once we get done doing this. So I have my paper towel because I always get ink on my stamp pad, on my stamping block, excuse me, I said that wrong. So now I want to put my starfish, just kind of line everything up real quick to see where I want it. So yes, so I want my starfish right here. So I'm just going to ink him up. And I'm just going to stamp him right in here. Doesn't have to be a perfect spot. And then I'm just going to heat emboss him. I really don't know. I don't know enough about heat embossing. I've never experimented with enough. If you can wait and just stamp everything on the page and then heat emboss. But I'm so afraid that I'll mess up this page, so I'm just not going to wait. Just tapping it off a little, make sure I got it all. Okay, so let's just heat emboss that. And I'm holding it up off of mat because from what I've heard, you're not supposed to heat these mats up. It can warp them. Oh my gosh, my words are not coming out clear tonight. But it says that you can warp them, so I'm trying to keep the heat from them. And I normally just hold it over to the side of over where my cards are, but since I'm on camera, I wanted you to see it change color. So, and that one changed really quickly. But I wanted you to see it, so I'm trying to hold it over here, but not on near my mat to get warm. Okay, so now let's just add our little, this is a little sea turtle. He's adorable. Wait till you see him. I think he's so cute. So I'm just going to stamp him like he's swimming up on the page here. There we go. Oh, isn't that cute? I wonder if I can add this one. I hope I'm not messing up. See if I can add this one and then heat emboss both of them at the same time. Okay, so I'm just going to kind of stagger them all so that it's not a straight line going up through the page. Okay, so let's add just a little bit and just tap it off. Alrighty. Just heat it up from here first. That way we're blowing the heat. Oops, I didn't have it on camera. I'm heating it up from the bottom, so that way we're blowing the heat away from the mat first. And it sure is hot. You have to watch your fingers. Oh, look at that one as it changed. Isn't that pretty? Oh, that is so pretty. Just going to heat up just a little bit more. Make sure I get it good because it went really fast. I guess it's where it's so small it will go faster. Honestly, I've had embossing powder for years, and I've had this heating tool for years and years. I've just never played with it much. I'll just do a little bit here and there, but I've never done a lot of experiment with it, but I always think it's so pretty when I use it, but then I forget to use it. That is so pretty. Okay, so let me put this embossing powder back in, and then we'll try some more projects. We're going to use this powder again, but I just want to move it before I make a big mess in my lap, knocking it off in my lap. So this page is looking good. So we have the tags on this page, and so I thought for the tags on this page, and I know it looks a little warped, I'm gonna, once everything cools down, I'm gonna see how it turns out, and then I can go back and fix it. Okay, so I'm thinking, I tried this one, it's a stamp like a little ocean in a bottle, and so I'm thinking of doing that on the tags. So I've got several different little bottles, and so I'm going to try them on these tags. And I don't think I'm going to heat emboss these, but I will be heat embossing the other tags. So let's just see how this looks. So I'm just going to, and this tag, you can see it's not really a tag shape. I cut this out with like a frame die I had, so it cuts a frame out and then it cuts these out. And I'm not really sure if there is a name for this or not, but it's just a die that I had. And so I thought it'd be cute in this pocket rather than just putting tags, putting something a different shape. So let me see if I don't put my head in camera, but I'm going to have to try to look over top of this. So hopefully my head's not in the way. So then I'm just going to press it. Oops, and there we've got that one. So then I'm going to have to clean all these stamps in a bit. Then I want to try this one. It's like a little mason jar with a handle, and I'm going to see what it will look like. And I think I can add, so this little kit, this stamp set from it, it has all these jars, and then it has bits and pieces that you can add. I hope you can see that on camera. So it has little seashells and the sea turtle and I'm not sure, a stingray I think is what you call that. And where are they at? Some other little critters. But there's some, and I can't really think of their names right now. But that you can add into these jars if you wanted to. Some of these jars, like this jar is not empty, but then some of them are emptier so that you can add decorations to them and add your own little sea world inside there. So I might add something to this one. Once again, I hope my head is not in the camera. I'm trying to not lean over completely, but I have to be able to see what I'm doing too. Okay, so I'm going to add this little guy to this one, I do believe, right in there. Yes, that's what I'm going to do. Jellyfish. I was sitting here trying to think of the name. These are little jellyfish is what they are. I think that's cute in there. Okay, and then, because that was a little emptier, and then the other jar I wanted to use, it's another, it almost makes me think of a jelly jar shape. And I'm going to add, it's very empty, so I'm going to add some stuff to it as well. I got to think, I had some things in mind, but now I don't even remember, so I'll have to take a look and see. Okay. Got it inked up good. Let me see if I can pull this down where you can see it, but I can still see it as well. So I can stamp kind of centered here. There we go. So you can see that one's just got rocks in it and it's very empty. And I'm trying to remember what all did I want to put in it. Just looking. Maybe a little seashell would be cool in it. I'll just lay it there and see. Maybe like that. And then, let's see, maybe this little guy. No, he's too big for that one. And maybe another jellyfish. That might be cute. Let's try that and see how that looks. I'll do one at a time. So I'm just going to let the seashell be laying on the bottom here. Oh, that's cool. And then this would be a lot of fun just to play around with this stamp set, adding things to the water. And let me see here. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that floats around that could go in here. So I'm going to put this little guy like he's swimming around. I'll turn him sideways. And then I'm going to take some of the little bubbles and just stamp around in there as well. So it looks as though he's swimming around in the water. Just a little bit in here. Well, I think that's cute. I like that. So this is just something cute to add to this one. So we got that one there, and then we have that one, and this one. I think that's cute on this page. I think that makes an adorable little page. And this is just a fun little, this journal, you know, it's got the mermaids and stuff in it, so it's nothing serious, not a serious ocean journal because it does have the mermaids as well. Let me see which way I want to turn this one. And this one is a beautiful seahorse from the stamp set. So, let's see if I can get him inked up. Now I do want to heat emboss this one, so let me get my embossing powder ready. So I'm just going to stamp him right in here with these beautiful flowers around him, and then I'm going to stamp some bubbles around him. Okay. And then I'm just going to add my embossing powder. And you notice I put him close to the bottom and the top is kind of empty. That's because I'm going to go back and cut this into a tag shape. Okay. I'm going to move this other way so I don't reheat that one up. Move all these stamps back so I can get everything back out of my way a little bit. And I'm just going to try to put this back in here. It may not work, but that's when we got the paper there. Make sure I don't flick it off of the actual little guy. Trying to look to make sure it's on there. Okay, so let's get the heat tool and, oops, I think my finger touched it. I think I'll add the powder back on him real quick, just in case. Because my finger touched part of it and I don't know what part it touched. Okay. It's wanting to attach to places that it's not supposed to go. Let me get a little brush here and see if I can brush off this excess part. Let me look at the stamp, make sure there's not something there that... Okay. All right then. Now we'll just heat it up. This one's going to get hot on my fingers fast. Trying to blow away from my fingers some. That one's pretty. It doesn't pop as much as on the gray, but it's still pretty. I may add just a little bit more to this one. Let me see here. Yeah, I think I want to add a little bit more to it and see. I may have to restamp it. I'm not sure. That one is just not working out. Part of him worked, but then the rest didn't. Somehow I didn't get any down in here. Maybe I flicked too much off. So now I'm going to try something. I know it's a bit risky, but I'm going to see if I can get it to work. I'm going to take this clear embossing ink. Is that what you call it? Yeah. This is my scrap paper here. So I'm going to get all the blue off. I'm sure it'll get some on there though. Let me get my, or I can clean it correctly. Because if I don't, I'm just going to make a huge mess. Let's see here. This is all from Stampin' Up! As well. I've had all of this for years. I used to go to, a friend of mine used to sell Stampin' Up! And she had Stampin' Up! Parties and they were so much fun. We used to have so much fun at her parties, and so I have bought a lot of this stuff from her parties because we used to do different little parties where you buy so much each month and then you get so much free or discounted, and so it's a lot of fun. And we had a lot of fun doing those things. And just hanging out with friends crafting was a lot of fun. I miss those days. Let's see if this works. I can always go back and try the bubbles later. Oh, that's a lot better. Let's see if how it looks when it gets done, though. I hope I didn't get off of the lines too much. We will see. It's just a piece of scrap paper anyway. I can always start over. It's no big deal. Try to hold it up. I know it's right in your face now, but I'm trying to keep it off all my stamps and stuff. This one gets so hot. So hot, so fast. Let's see how that looks. Ooh, it's hot, hot, hot. I think that looks pretty good. I know I shouldn't be doing that on the mat. It is a little off of the lines, but it's glossy. I'm not sure that it's a big deal. I don't know if you can see it. I think I will still use it. I'm going to let it dry, and I'm going to feel of it and see what I think. And this one I'm going to try. Let's see if we can be more successful with it. This one is a mermaid, and so I'm going to try inking her up really well and see if we can heat emboss her better than we did. Then I'll go back and try that seahorse again. Okay. Get that out of the way. Oops, I was getting ready. I don't know what I was thinking. I think I was going to emboss before I stamped her. I want to put her sort of to the bottom since this is going to be a tag, and I will be cutting the top. Okay. Oop, I missed her little, this probably is a huge mistake. It missed her arms too, I didn't realize that. We may have to get another scrap piece out and restamp her. Yes, that doubled. Okay, let's get a different piece out and let's just stamp her on it. We will try one more time. That's how stamping sometimes goes. That's why I prefer to stamp on scrap or on a piece of paper that I can trash and start over and it's not my actual project, because I don't always get it right. And I may need to put this one in. If this one don't work out, I'm going to put it in my, oh, I don't know what you call it. It's the stamping thing that it helps you to stamp your images. It's by Tim Holtz. Okay, let's see here. I may have doubled that one as well. We shall see, we shall see. I'm gonna try to press down hard on all the bits and pieces because I've stamped her before and she stamped beautifully. Okay, let's see if we can heat emboss it on this paper. You know, I forgot, this paper has toner on it. I wonder if that's affecting the heat embossing. Well, it attached to it. Let's see what it looks like when we get done. Let's heat it up again. Oh, it's doing good. It's doing beautifully. I'm just afraid that I may have not used a dark enough color to show up on the print here. We'll see. I like that. I think she turned out pretty. I do like her better on gray. I'm going to show you how she looks stamped on gray as well. Let me find a piece. Or the, I want to do the seahorse on the, ooh, she may have looked better on this lighter color. I could try that again. Let's just try her again. I'm trying to think if I got a darker color that I could put. Trying to think what, I could use navy. I wonder if she would look better in navy. Let's try her in navy without heat embossing her on this one. Let's see how she looks. See if she looks better without the heat embossing on this paper. And this paper is just scraps from the kit. And let's see here. I'm going to make it a tag. So I kind of centered up, and I can, oops, it bounced a little. And I'm gonna cut her, ooh, okay, that worked out. I didn't bounce as much as I thought. So that looks pretty on there. So I think I'll cut it down to a smaller tag, and I think I do like her better not heat embossed. So let's try now. We're going to do this guy again, and I'm going to, what color do I want to use for him? I'm either going to use the London Fog Memento, that's what I'm going to use, or do I want to use the navy? The navy looks so good. She looks really good in navy. The more it dries, it's even prettier. I love it. I'm going to use the London Fog with him first. This is just another piece of scrap that I'm going to turn into like a little journaling card or a tag. It didn't look like it really inked that up, did it? And I'm not going to heat emboss this one. I'll show you what I'm going to do with it in just a second. It really does not look inked up. It's not showing up as good. Let's see here. Okay. And then where's his little bubbles? Here they are. think that the embossing powder has gotten on the back of the bubbles. So let me see if I can't clean that off a little bit. I may have to go wash it. Okay, I'm gonna make two versions of him. I'm gonna make it with this color, and then I'm also going to make it with the navy, because now I'm really liking the navy. I'll just make another one up here with the navy. Ooh, that's pretty. And maybe the bubbles with the navy as well. Uh-oh. There we go. That is pretty. So now let me show you what, if I can find it, what I want to do with him. So I have a frame that I cut out when I was cutting out some pieces for another project that I was using this kit for, and so I'm just going to put him inside of that frame. That one may not work though. It'll cut off part of his bubble, because I had this one that I was going to use, but when I had already rounded it before I realized what I want to do. So this one, and then I can use that one somewhere else. So that's what I'm going to do. Put some embossing powder on there. Where's that ink? There we go. Let's see. Maybe I'll get a piece of paper and I'll try one more, because I am getting ink all over it. I think my fingers have gotten dirty. So let me see here. How would it look with the gray? That would look good too. And I'm going to do him in the navy on the gray. I think that would be pretty. Or that blue is very pretty. Let me clean it off and let's do the blue. I'm just playing around with y'all. I had an idea what I wanted to do, but I don't have it all planned out. I know I just want to use these stamps. So I know I keep going back and forth about what I want to do, but I'm just trying to make this with you all, and so you can follow along with me. And I'd really appreciate you watching and following along with me. And I love to see your comments when you're following along with these videos of me making these journals. Okay, so my camera cut off, and so I don't know how much, I don't know what it got, but I just stamped this one. I think I caught it right when it turned off, but I'm not sure how much you missed. What I was saying was I really do appreciate you hanging out with me as I create these journals, and I do appreciate your comments and your likes, and thank you so much for all that. And don't forget to like and share it, because it helps me if my videos get shared. And I really do enjoy making these videos and hanging out with you all. It's a lot of fun for me. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add this frame. I'm not going to heat emboss this one, because the page I'm going to put it on, I don't want the heat embossing on. So I'm just going to add the frame, and then I'm going to trim around it after I add the frame. And this is like what I was telling you earlier when I cut out those other shapes. These little cards, it's the same die set. You get, it's a nesting die, so you get a bunch of dies in one set, and so you get all the different sizes that you would want. I do believe there's a lot in this set. But you can look for nesting dies in most shops and stuff that sell dies. You know, I just had ink on my finger and it got right there. Let me see if I can get that off. I'm having one of those nights, aren't I? There, it erased it. Oh, that's awesome. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, that's great. I thought since it had glue mixed in, it might erase it. Let me get this paper towel spot. I need some wet wipes over here. Okay. I'm going to pause for just a second and get this ink off my fingers, and I'll be right back with you. Okay, so hopefully now I won't be getting ink all over my project. So let me just, I'll trim this out. Since the back can be a little journaling spot, I thought. So it's going to be kind of like a little tag, but not in a tag shape. If that makes sense. And I'll show you what page I'm going to add it to. Let me go ahead and fix the little pocket for that page as well. And then I think it's probably been almost 30 minutes, so I'm trying to just work with this, hang out with you all for 30 minutes while I work on the journal. And I'm trying to do most of this journal on camera in a video for you all so that you can follow along and see it. But sometimes I sit down and get started on it and forget to share some of the stuff I'm doing. But so far I think most of it has been on camera. So I'm just going to add some of this London Fog, Memento London Fog, to the back here, just to kind of highlight the edges. And let's see, maybe on the front as well. It's not really showing up in the front. Let me try a little bit of chocolate chip on the front. I like to highlight the edges just a little bit. There we go, that looks good. Kind of highlights and shows off that, how the, you know, the corners are cut out with that die. So that's pretty. Okay. So let me get this embossing powder up real quick so that I don't make a huge mess everywhere. There we go. Just set that out of the way because I'm through stamping for now. Set all this back out of the way. Okay. I like that. And so that was going on. Let me find the page that I had planned to put that on. It was the Mermaid Page. Let me see if I can find it. Here she is. So I was going to make a little pocket using some of the embellishments from the kit. So let's just take this page out and set it aside. Okay. And so what I was thinking was, I know it's going to cover the word the mermaid, but I'm okay with that. I was thinking of putting this little seashell along with the little window there, and then this will be tucked in the pocket, and I like that. So I'm going to attach these two together first, and this one's supposed to lean kind of that way. That's how it was when I printed it out, so that's how I'm going to do it. And then I'm just going to attach it to the little seashell card. I kind of want it, how do I want that? I don't want it straight. I kind of want the card to lean as well to make my pocket. Trying to make sure I like how that looks. And I'm going to just center it up in this box right here, I think. Or I could do it over to the side. I think right there in the center. So I like that. So then I'm just going to, let me think about how I want this to be. So I'm going to go across the bottom and up the side to make it a tuck spot. So down this side here, and then across this bottom. Okay. And then I'm just going to add it there, kind of eyeball centering it up. Let me see my bone folder so I can press it down. Just press it down really good. Okay. And then this little guy is just going to tuck right in there like that. And I like that. So that's another page that I think is completed. I'll probably go through and ink around the edges of the pages once I get done. I'm trying to see, do I want to glue, I might want, no, I'm thinking I might want to glue that down just a little right there. I don't like how it's sticking up, so I'm just going to glue it just a little. And I just want him hanging out the side there. So yeah, that's another page completed, and then we've completed this page. I'm going to go through and probably ink around the pages at the end before I bind them, and I like that. And for this, I do want to ink around these. I'm going to ink around them with the London Fog Memento, I do believe, because I think that's going to show up beautifully. Yes, it does on this gray, because I like to highlight the edges, so it really helps the design of how the cutouts really show up. And these are just little journaling spots too. So I'm just going to do that for the whole thing because it See, when you put it in there, it really stands out. Look, that top didn't get ink, did it? There you can see now. When you tuck it in there, it really stands out better. See it compared to these. I like that better. It may blend a little bit more, but typically it stands out, but I think this time it did blend some, but that's okay. I like how it looks. It's got more of a finished look to it for me. So that's there, and then one more. And we'll have this page completed, and then, like I said, I'll probably ink them off camera because that's really nothing exciting or fun to sit and watch. So I'll do that later. But I am loving how this one's coming along. And I think I'm getting very close to being done. Another video or so and it should be done. So that's cute. And I don't know if I told you, this is just regular cardstock like you get at Michael's. So I do love how this turned out, and then we've got these, and then I've got to cut these down into tags. And so oh, here's another one we did too. I'm not crazy about this one finally. I may have to go back and try that again. And so here's how she looks heat embossed on there. And I'm not as crazy about that one, how it turned out. I really like her stamped in the navy on the paper. So I'm going to go in and cut around that, and then I'm going to cut this one out and see what I'm going to do with it. But for now, I think that is all for today. And so I do appreciate you watching and following along with this little journal. And I hope that you're enjoying this series. And thank you so much, and I hope you have a great day. Bye.